We see that the situation in Uganda is becoming very worrying and appalling. We see that in so many instances we have seen a lot of politically driven cases going sour, and the people of Uganda are now growing more concerned for their security. We now see that Eddie Sebufu, also known as Eddie Mutwe, who is the personal bodyguard of Bobi Wine, has just been denied accessibility from being transferred from an unknown detention site to Luzira Maximum Prison, which was given an order by the magistrates court. Well, in this edition of Legal News Daily, I discuss everything concerning what Eddie Mutwe did to be abducted. Number 2, what the court ruled in terms of Eddie Mutwe's situation. Number 3, what was the court order concerning this briefly. And number 4, what does the law say about the situation in Uganda in general, especially concerning human rights and respect of the judiciary and court orders. So, welcome to Legal News Daily, and let's discuss all of this moving forward.
N'omusango gwasijja nakumanyira mu kkomera nti nabajjampa ne sweta ninga nalabange yali amaze okukola ekibonerezo ekyampeebwa nakubwa enkingo zino zaali mugundi namala wiiki ku nkingo nga ndi mazzi naye wagamba bampa obujjanjabi obw'enjawulo mirapeinikira 12 buli lunaku siifunanga bujjanjabi businga buno kongo bulekalemberayo emikono oba bagitemako bagitemako ku bujjanjabi olero obulamu bwange bugenda.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Legal News Daily. I'm your host Terry Kahuma on this channel, and briefly, Legal News Daily, like I always say, is our daily legal news segment where we discuss everything concerning national news, legal and political issues, social as well, but most importantly, what is happening both nationally and internationally in the world. Well, in today's edition, I'll state and go straight to the point. We all know what Eddie Mutwe has been going through in the tabloids, and we all know that he has been in someone's basement learning Runyankole. That has been one of the most common things that everyone is talking about right now. So, Eddie Mutwe was abducted illegally and was taken to an unknown detention site. Learning Runyankole had his beard shaved off, but most importantly, we now see that this is a blatant disregard for human rights. Eddie Mutwe has now been in detention for almost 1.5 months now, until this very one time where Eddie Mutwe was taken to the magistrates court in Masaka and was presented where he was literally shaking and he could not even speak properly. We see that in so many situations, Eddie Mutwe needs a lot of health care, and we now know that he needs a lot of treatment. But now, the moment he gave his testimony that he has been under a lot of torture, disregard for human rights and all of that, we see that now the magistrates court ordered for Eddie Mutwe to be transferred from an unknown detention site to Luzira Maximum Prison, because he has been put a lot of charges on concerning a lot of crime in Masaka, also a lot of violation of human rights. So Eddie Mutwe has a lot of those cases that have been put on him by the state. Now, the magistrates saw it fit that Eddie Mutwe should be transferred from his unknown detention site to Luzira Maximum Prison. Now, let us go to what the law says about all of this. The fact that now 2 weeks to about 15 days, Eddie Mutwe has now not been transferred to Luzira Maximum Prison. What does it say about the law? Briefly, let's look at what the Constitution says. The Constitution Republic of Uganda 1995 basically says that, first of all, in accordance with the objectives of the Constitution, Eddie Mutwe is well within his right to have health care and proper health care, because the fact that he has been taken to an unknown detention site, abducted by a drone, and then taken and then had his human rights violated, and that means that is in contravention with his right to freedom of speech and expression, also his right to freedom from torture, inhumane and cruel treatment under Article 24 and also Article 44 of the Constitution. But most importantly, we look at what Article 23 says. The fact that you have been abducted, now in this case, let's say arrested. If you've been arrested and then taken to an unknown detention site, what does the law say about it? In accordance with Article 23, it says that any person who has been arrested should not be taken for more than 48 hours. Now, Eddie Mutwe was taken almost 6 weeks ago. This, of course, is in violation of his rights under Article 23. He was not read to his crimes within that period. He was only read to his crimes when he was taken to the Chief Magistrates Court, and therefore, that is in violation of the 48-hour rule. So, we also see that any person still under the 48-hour rule under Article 23, if you've been arrested, you should be taken to a known location where, indeed, you're going to write a statement, you're going to be asked a lot of questions, you're going to be asked to confess, things like that. So, the normal procedure is stipulated under Article 23 of the Constitution. We said all his rights under Article 23 of the Constitution have now been violated. Most importantly, let us see that in accordance with Article 128 of the Constitution, which talks about independence of the judiciary, we see that the fact that a court order was given by the Chief Magistrates Court, in accordance with Article 128, we state that if the court has said that please transfer Eddie Mutwe from the unknown detention site to Luzira Maximum Prison, that means that he deserves to go through the normal procedure and process of being a criminal. If indeed you're putting cases on Eddie Mutwe, then he should be on remand in Luzira. So even that court order has been violated, because the judiciary should therefore be independent and free from any political influence. Now, what are the three arms of government? I'll just educate you briefly. We have the executive, we have the legislature, and we have the judiciary. The executive is the arm of the president, the ministers, the prime minister. These are where orders come from, or this is the governing arm of, or this is the governing body of all the three arms of government. Then we have the legislature. Legislature is government and people who make the laws which govern the entire country. Then we have the judiciary. Judiciary is what we have the judges, the lawyers, the judicial officers, people who implement the laws that the legislature and parliament have come up with. So, in accordance with Article 128 and the laws that came from the UK, which is the common law, the judiciary needs to be independent, meaning as much as it's part of the arms of government, it needs to be separate from the other arms, and therefore it should be respected. Court orders should be respected. So if the Chief Magistrates Court in this case has stated that Eddie Mutwe should be transferred to Luzira Maximum Prison and should be taken away from the unknown detention site, then that should be respected. And also this is also stipulated under the Criminal Procedure Code Act of Uganda. So what the laws we're looking at, the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, the Criminal Procedure Code Act, and also most importantly, enforcement and respect of the judiciary under the Constitution in accordance with Article 128. So I wanted to explain to you everything that's happening with Eddie Mutwe. Let's see where everything is going to go moving forward. It is very unfortunate that now even legal and political analysts are saying that please, the judiciary is not being respected, and yet this is one of the most important arms of the government. If people are not having trust in their judiciary, or the fact that judges just give orders and then the executive disrespects these court orders, then the situation in the country is a bit worrying and appalling. Well, I'm Minister Terry Kahuma. Please let me know what I should talk about in a future video. Let me know what you think about Eddie Mutwe and the situation that's happening concerning human rights in Uganda. I remain yours truly. Until next time, I'll see you. Bye-bye.